Hello and welcome to this new video. In this lesson, I will show you how to play some of the grooves and some of the fill-ins of the song from the Eagles, Hotel California. It's a really cool song and perfect for beginners. So let's start right away. What I'm going to show you in this video will sound like that in the end. So I will show you the intro fill-in, then the main groove, and then also a fill-in which is used to transition between the verse and the chorus. I will not show you like everything in detail here. This is just to give you the main idea of the song, and you can start playing to it right away. Okay, I will start first with a little simpler version of the groove, which is used in the original song, just to get you started, right? You don't have to play then the accents I show you in a second. You can also play the simple groove to the song. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I will show you also, of course, how it's played in the original song. Okay, so I always play 8 notes on the hi-hat. So I play 8 times the hi-hat, and then I have a bass drum on the 1. This first snare on the 2, again a bass drum on the 3, and then the second snare on the 4, and then on the 4 end I have another bass drum. The groove sounds like that. And the cool thing about this groove is that you kind of have like a 2 bass drums after each other if you repeat the groove. So usually you only have like the bass drum on the 4 end, but then if you play it another time, you also have the bass drum on the 1, of course. And with the 4 end and the 1, it sounds like you play 2 bass drums after each other. Actually, you play 2 bass drums after each other, right? So I would just make a few signs that you know what I mean, right? But really notice that when you play that you do have like 2 bass drums after each other. So don't make like a break between those 2 bass drums. It sounds like that. I think it's clear, right? So, and the next step, we add some hi-hat accents, or we add 2 more notes to the groove. And this is then how it's actually played in the original song. So the first one we have on the, so we have 1. So I always count 16th notes like that. 1, E, and A. And the first one, the first additional note is on the A, right? So 1 and A, 2. 1 and A, 2. So before the first snare, you do have an additional hi-hat now, which is a 16th note. And we play the full groove, the rest of the groove, actually or exactly like we did before. And I would also recommend that you try it or learn it like that. So don't take because I will show you another 16th note in a second. So I would recommend that you take this groove again as a second version, practice that a bit, and then if that works out, you then look at the next note we add to the groove, which is then, again, on the 3A. So we have 3 and A, 4. 3 and A, 4. So it's the same concept what we did in the beginning of the groove. And if I play the groove now, like also with the first accent or with the first 16th note we added, it sounds like that. And I played a bit faster. The original song is not that fast, so it's also perfect for beginners. And if you have problems playing this additional 16th notes because it's too fast, or you have problems with your technique still, take your time, play it really slow, and if it's too hard, just play the basic version of it to the song. Try it a few times, and then if that works, you can try to add the first 16th note and then the second version. Okay? That's it. This groove you can play actually to the complete song. And I will show you now two fill-ins. One is the intro fill-in, and the other one is the transition between the first verse to the chorus. But you can also just play straight with that groove already. Okay, so the intro fill-in. So actually what happens in the intro, he plays a bit of like cymbals and some accents here and there. I will not like show you in detail what's happening there. I would just leave it up to you to be a bit creative and do a little sizzling on the cymbals, right? Or you do a little accent on the right cymbal, for example. It's a bit up to you. I will not tell you that note by note here. And it's not that important, to be honest, right? Just listen to the song and then try it out. And then what happens, I think it's after 51 seconds or something, you need to listen to the original song. And then he starts playing on the 4 and the 4 and 2 notes. And he plays it on the floor tom and the tom number 2 together. 4 and then on the 1, the groove starts. And I always make an accent with the cymbal on the first note of the new groove. One, two, three. That's how I would play the intro, and I would just practice that, right, and until it works, right? So always listen to the record, and then on the second 51, he starts playing that. And I would recommend to you that you count before, like I just did, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? The next one, I want to show you the transition fill between the verse and the chorus. And he plays actually out of the, so he plays the groove until the 3 and then he starts on the 3 and with a snare. We just start with that. And the 3 and you play the snare, and this is actually the start of the fill-in. The next one is then on the 4, you play right, left on the snare, and then right, left on the tom number 1. And those are 16th notes. So when I start on the 3 and then 4, E, and A. Just practice that piece first. And if that works, combine it with the groove. And of course, here the same again. I play a cymbal in the end and then repeat the groove again. And that's it. I would recommend to you play a couple of times the groove, and then you play the fill-in, the transition, and then you play a couple of times the groove again. It sounds like that. That's it for today's lesson. I hope you liked it. Please leave a comment if you want to hear another song. And I hope I see you next time. Have fun.